Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. Big news today. Big news today. Roma is leading the race to re-bring Frattesi back home. And I'm buzzing about this. I am absolutely stoked about this. Pinto, end it. End it soon, Pinto. End it soon. Bring him home. And we're done. And we've got a quality box-to-box holding mid. Quality. Look, I've said this yesterday. This is a crucial week, and I expect a signing this week. And I would not be surprised if this signing is Frattesi, because today, as of today, fresh start of a fresh new week, Roma is leading the race to sign him, because the other teams have kind of withdrawn from the race. They haven't officially withdrawn from the race, but their interest isn't that big. And this is something which we're going to discuss today. You know, Milan, Inter and Juventus have all been interested in him. But these teams have lost interest for various different reasons. And this is something which we will focus on today, because what has made Roma lead the race? You know, a few days ago, he was an Inter Milan player. Why is it that today, the 3rd of July, Roma's leading the race? What happened? Why are we leading the race? And I think the first thing to talk about is the kind of a lack of interest from other teams, starting with Milan. It's fair to say Milan have never been in a race to sign him. They were potentially interested in him because obviously they sold Tonali and they have the financial benefits. They have the financial benefits to get him now that they've sold Tonali for a lot of money. But they've prioritized other players. You know, they've prioritized Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They're prioritizing Pulisic from Chelsea. One of their big targets this summer has always been Chukwueze. Chukwueze from Villarreal. Milan have other priorities. And just like any Italian team, obviously we got to be careful with finances. And this is not a kind of an opinion that a Roma fan makes, but every single fan of a Serie A team knows that their team can't be spending a limited amount of money. So you kind of choose priorities. And Milan's priority is not Frattesi. Now some people are saying that this week Milan have potentially, it hasn't been confirmed, scheduled a meeting to try and get a few information on Frattesi to see if it is actually valid. Oh my God, why does this keep on doing it? I ask one thing in my life, and it's not to break my ass. Not to break my ass when I go live. I cannot understand why this keeps on. I don't get this. I cannot and will never understand this. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. Oh my God. Hang on a second. This thing is always... Again, I'm sorry about this. Right, let's do something here. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Right, am I back? I hate this. I absolutely hate this. No, I'm too big now. There we go. Okay, I'm back. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to fix this. It's been happening since quite a few days now. Anyways, we're back going, hopefully. So, Milan could potentially enter a last-minute race to sign him, but it's not their priority. Moving on to Juventus. Juventus, complicated situation. Juventus need money. They aren't playing in the Champions League. They aren't playing Europa League. They need money. They got to sell players, and it just won't happen. It just won't happen. I don't think Juventus were ever interested in him. I just feel like, I think again, Juventus are put in such a position that their transfer window is going to be very complicated this summer. Because of their penalization, it's just going to be hell for them. And I don't think they were never in a race to sign him, and I don't think they will ever be in a race to sign him. And then the most kind of complicated opponent is by far Inter. But similar to Milan, Inter have different priorities. Inter have sold Brozovic to Al Nassr, but they want the money that they got from that Brozovic deal to prioritize Lukaku. They want to bring Lukaku back. And that is definitely very important to say. They need that striker, and obviously if they sell Onana, they need a new goalkeeper. So they've got other priorities. Plus they've got Barella as well. They don't need Frattesi. And then there's us. You know, I've always said this. Give us time. Give us the 1st of July. Wait until the 1st of July and we will see a Roman comeback and a Roman assault on the Frattesi front. And this is something which Frattesi 100% got told by Thiago Pinto when we were back in June. Wait until July and I promise you I'm going to make an offer to sign you and bring you back home. Now that we've got more freedom in the transfer window, look at us now. 3rd of July, we're back leading the race. And this is crucial news because he is the player we need. I can't stress one thing. I can't stress how big our midfield will be if we sign Frattesi. In the meantime, thank you very much, Quebec, for the 100 South African, I believe. You are amazing. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you very much for the support, mate. Absolutely love it. And yeah, you're a constant donor. So I appreciate all of the support, mate. Thank you. So yeah, we're leading the race. And as I just said, I can't stress how big this would be. Like, if we start a season with a selection of midfielders of Frattesi, Matic, Bove, Pellegrini, Cristante, and Aouar, that is top quality. Like, that is, again, I dare to say this, that is, in my opinion, league title quality. Those are 6 great midfielders. Rotations are going to be maximized. Injuries, hopefully, are going to be minimized. If we have that package of midfielders next season, I'm going to say it, we can compete on every front. Because that is an amazing midfielder selection. We got to get this deal done quick, because I think this is our time. We've took our chances, we've waited, we've been patient, and now it's the opportunity to barge in and get the Frattesi deal done by the end of this week. So that best case scenarios, he also starts from day one the preseason with Mourinho. And that would be insane. If all of our midfielders can start the preseason together, that would be huge. And then obviously in July, we could prioritize a striker and moving on to some few other positions, such as goalkeeper maybe. And another thing about Frattesi is that I see similarities. When Inter bought Barella, I saw similarities. And I'm seeing similarities on this. I'm seeing similarities with this. I think Frattesi and Barella are 2 very similar players. Barella is better than Frattesi. Obviously, I'm not going to be delusional and say that Frattesi is better than Barella. Barella is one of the best midfielders out there. But they've got similar characteristics. And I just think Frattesi at Roma can have a very similar impact to Barella at Inter. He is young. He's in the middle of his best years. And he can become a flag of this team, just like Barella is a flag of Inter. Obviously, both of them play in the Italian national team. Both of them know each other really, really well. And again, I'm so buzzing for this. It's not over. I can't be buzzing yet because the deal is yet to be finalized. But the fact that we are leading the race is confirmed by everyone out there on the web. Every sources are confirming that Roma are now leading the race, are in pole position to sign him. It's just great news to start a very important week. It's just massive news. And also, I have to be very honest with you. Last year, when we were interested in him, when we were interested in him, I had doubts, and I have to be very honest with you. I had doubts. I was like, do we really want Frattesi? You know, is he a Serie A proven player yet? And those are all thoughts that were locked in a lock and kept there last season. This year, I have completely different. I have completely different expectations and opinions on Frattesi because I've followed him this season, and he's evolved so much. He's become a more mature player. The fact that he's also grabbed Italian national team call-ups has made him a more experienced and Serie A proven player, and he is ready for that step up. And the fact that he has always put us in front of everybody, in my opinion, is the reason why I am prioritizing him just like the ownership is prioritizing him. I want this deal to be over because he needs respect. You know, he has put us in front of everything. He's waited for us for 2 years now. And it would be a perfect conclusion to everything if he can now sign for us. Because he's a better player now. He's a more mature player. And it's the perfect stage to sign for Roma and make that step up in his career. Speaking about details of this deal. The Fredkins have apparently given the green light to Thiago Pinto to prepare an assault this week and prepare the offer for Frattesi. Now, Frattesi, as we always said, Sassuolo are valuing Frattesi around 35 million. And Roma value him around 30 million. However, the offer can increase, and that is another detail that shows us that this ownership really wants to get this deal sorted out. We don't normally see the Fredkins and Thiago Pinto offer more money than what we actually can and have to offer. This time round, it's going to happen. Roma's offer is an 11 million euro base plus a 3 million bonus package plus the 10 million euros money that we got from the Volpato and Missori deal. So effectively, that would bring the 30 million higher up to 33 million. And at 33 million, they're asking 35 million. I have a big feeling this offer can be it, and then we can end the deal soon. I have a big feeling that can happen. Because if Sassuolo are asking for 35 million, and we're offering a total of 33 million, also taking into consideration the 30% release clause that we have in his contract, that's a 2 million gap. And, you know, Sassuolo have kind of promised Frattesi the move. Frattesi wants this move, and Sassuolo have told him that they are going to make him, that they're going to kind of fulfill his demands of making this step up. So they won't fuss around too much. If the offer comes, they will accept it. It's just a matter of offering what Sassuolo want. And at 33 million, I think the deal can be over. And yeah, that's an offer which will be prepared by Thiago Pinto in these next hours, maybe in these next days, and forwarded to Sassuolo in these by the end of the week. And I think if all goes to plan, Frattesi becomes a normal player by the start of next week. And yeah, another thing about this deal, which is interesting, but I've noticed this, is I'm also having a lot of similarities with the Dybala deal last season. You know, let's not forget, Dybala last season was very close to joining Inter. And then he collapsed and he signed for us. Again, I'm having similarities. You know, Frattesi was an Inter Milan player 1 week ago, and then something happened, and now he's close to us. So that's another similarity which I find about this. But yeah, Simon Simo, why the rumors that Frattesi grew up Laziale and prefers Inter? I have to be honest with you, I don't. Those are not real rumors, because he is a Roma fan, but when he was a little kid, he used to play for Lazio academies. He played for our academy before going to Sassuolo, but when he was younger, like a 15-year-old, he played for Lazio's academy. And the tweets which people are showing of him showing his love to Lazio, or when he was a 15-year-old, and he played for the Lazio Academy when he was 15. And that's very young age. That's immature. So he's always said this. He's a Roma fan. Those Lazio things is because he used to play for the Lazio Academy team, and he sent those tweets when he was like 15 years old. So that doesn't again, I don't consider him a Lazio player. He's got a red and yellow heart. He's not a Lazio fan. I don't like deals involving Lazio players, and I've already said this before, involving big players of Lazio moving to Roma, or big players of Roma moving to Lazio. For example, I'll give you an example. Milinkovic-Savic will 80% leave Lazio, right? Say Roma want Milinkovic-Savic. As a Roma fan, I acknowledge that Milinkovic-Savic is a great football player, but I would never get him in my team. I would never get him in my team. Because he is a legend of Lazio. I don't want him in my team. And that's kind of my philosophy of these things. He was a Lazio player when he was 15 years old in the youth. He's a Roma fan. He said this, and the fact that he's always put us in front of everybody is a clear demonstration of this. And that's kind of my take on it. That is my take on it. Anyways, we're done speaking about Frattesi. We're done speaking about Frattesi. Obviously, today's been a big day because the Adidas collaboration has been confirmed. That's a big collaboration because it would bring a lot of money in our banks. It's obviously a big brand, big teams. One of the reasons why we are collaborating with Adidas is because Mourinho and Dybala or Adidas members. So obviously that sped up a few things. But yeah, today it's been confirmed. The kit will be released on Thursday. And it's gonna be an epic kit. It's probably gonna be one of the best kits ever since I'm on this planet. I'm very looking forward to it. It will be released this Thursday, because the wolf is back. We are taking away the original Roma badge, and we are putting the wolf back on it, the OG badge, which is great. And then obviously on Wednesday we've got fixtures coming out, so we're gonna go live for that, live draw. So yeah, curious for that. And I'm always very interested to see what we get. It's just one of the highlights of the summer. Simon, have you seen a tweet of the number 10? I've seen that tweet. It's not Dybala getting the number 10. It's just because Adidas was our sponsor a few years ago when Totti was a player. So that was just an image to, like, kind of a flashback of the 10 that Totti wore under the Adidas sponsorship. It's nothing linked with Dybala. Yeah. Number 10 is a big pressure for him considering how injury prone he is. I'd rather him stay 21. Yeah, I agree. Up to now, I agree. And that number 10 is not linked with Dybala, that image. Is it true we got a 5 million fine? I heard on One Football. Yeah, no, the fine we got is basically to avoid other FFP sanctions on us. So the Fredkin decided, right, I'm gonna pay this 5 million fine so that I can get these UEFA sanctions away from me, and that's the reason behind this fine. It's a logic fine. It makes sense because if we don't pay this fine, then we could have some consequences about them putting a few more sanctions on us. So paying this fine would kind of allow us more freedom on it, and I think this is a smart move because 5 million is not a lot of money, and I would rather pay 5 million fine and get more freedom in the window than not paying the 5 million fine and maybe having more sanctions to focus on. You should have seen the Kolarov give me a death stare when I met him after a training session and asked him to say Colour had a weird attitude. That's another Lazio Roma player. Came from Lazio to Roma. He was a good player under us, but his attitude is a classic attitude of a player which goes from one end of a city to the other. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, opinions on Frattesi and this Adidas collaboration in the comments below. I'll be very curious to read and respond to your comments. And yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's been a pleasure. I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. Simo.